Alright, g'day guys, Matt Preston, ENQUIRES. Welcome back to another video. Now, this I'm very excited about because it is the ALLPOWERS R1500 battery power station, essentially. Now, if you have seen the channel for a while now, we've done quite a few different power stations. So I've got a little bit of like a good idea of what to expect and what's good and what's not. So very excited with all of that to then dive into a different one entirely and sort of see how it stacks up overall. So as you can see, the box is quite big, so let's waste no time and get inside. Okay, so here's the ALLPOWERS box. Now we also have the solar blanket, 200 watt, but we'll open that in a sec. So let's just get straight into the unboxing experience. So first thing on top, you're greeted with this giant foam panel, and in here are two things. One is a little bag here. So in here we've got simple 240 volt to this end here with like a 3 plug. This is a pretty standard plug, and this will be able to charge it off mains power. That's all that's in here. So it's just one cord, and it is like a little PVC line bag, which is really cute. It's got a little zip and little handle, so nice little bag there. And then here we have the little user manual thing here. Now it's kind of cool. So it's got a little like claim your warranty thing here, and it looks quite nice. And in here is essentially going to be all your details you need to know for your little system here. And in here is also going to be the little just link up to their social media and their warranty. So if you have any troubles, you will be able to obviously return it and get a replacement, which is really good. So now let's get into the box. It's a little bit on the big heavy side, but that's also what you want if you're trying to do some serious power running appliances on it. So the rest of this box is now empty, so we'll get rid of that. Here we have the system. Now, first initial impressions just from looking at it, obviously if we compare it to some of the Bluettis I've reviewed, like the AC180s, this is probably a little bit bigger, like a little bit wider, a little bit chunkier, which can also mean a good thing. It means it's got more sort of plugs and ports on it that the Bluetti won't have. It can also have more power. So first impressions, looks quite nice, little ALLPOWERS logo up here. And you've got your 4 plugs on the bottom here, and you've got your 2 USBs, 18 watts, 2 USB type Cs, 100 watt, which is good. That's super fast charging, which is what you want. And then over here, you got your 12 volt, 10 amp DC out plug. So that will obviously do all your 12 volt accessories. You know, you might have a 12 volt kettle or anything in the lines of that. And then, yeah, like I said before, 240 volt power, which is through the 1800 watt inverter, which is the same size as most of these sort of similar sized power stations, because the one in the car here is just a 1500 watt inverter. So this will actually be able to do more than what that can do. Now, on top here as well, we have 2 wireless charging pads, which is cool. The Bluetti only had 1, and they're both 15 watt output there. Okay, now on the right side of the unit here, I've got you really zoomed in. Here we have a little panel here, and you press this, it's really cool, and that opens up. And then here you have your little plug to plug it in for 240 volt power. You also have a little reset button. If you happen to trip the inverter and you've got lots of power on it, you can reset it. And then down here, this is a plug that's for solar / car input, 12 to 60 volts, 13 amp max. So this is for charging essentially. You might have this to like a solar end, and that's what will charge it, which is actually what the solar blanket comes with. So that's pretty cool. And then here you've got, I know the vents here are green, just a little bit of a fashion statement there, and heaps of like breathing ability there. And if we turn it around to the other side, we've got another little vent here. Now this is really cool because the Bluetti didn't have any of this. So this is all new to me. But if you open this up here, it's actually got 2 big sort of ports here. And what this is for, this is the extended battery port. So we can actually have 2 batteries, I'm pretty sure, onto this system, and it will run in sync as one giant power bank, you know, which is what you want for maximum power and usability for solar and for using it. So that's pretty cool that it's got that. I've never really seen that before, and it's all sort of weather tight because it's in a little flap there. Okay, and on the back of the system, we just simply have a little sticker here, and it's just got the barcode and some little facts about it. So nothing too crazy, but yeah, 1152 watts, which is the same size as those Bluettis that they have. And then essentially you can read the rest of it there. Nothing too crazy that we need to know about that we don't already know. So I figure we get right into it. we're going to turn this guy on and we're going to do some power tests under huge load. So I'm talking a kettle and a toaster simultaneously. So let's set that up. Okay, so as you can see here, set it all up. Now it's very, very similar to all the other systems for turning it on. You simply press the power button here for about 5 seconds and it will show the display. And here it just simply says 100% and it's got the watt input, watt output, and the time remaining, it says 14 days, which is pretty cool. So it's giving me the time in days, not hours, which is what some other systems would do. And then pretty much what we're gonna do here is press this bottom power button down here, and you might have heard that little noise. So yeah, so the inverter's just been turned on. That's running now. So now I'm gonna push this toaster on, which is a double burner, so it will draw a fair bit. And we're gonna watch this affect it. So turning that on now. There we go, it's just turned on, the fan's kicked in. So this toaster alone is drawing 1,660 watts, so that's massive. So this, my King's inverter, 1,500 watts, wouldn't really be able to run this, okay? So this is already right on the limit of what it can run. And it can run this toaster for 36 minutes. So that's just crazy. That just shows you how much power a toaster can run. So that's running. We're at 97% already, so it's dropping rapidly. So I'm just gonna cancel that for now, turn that back off. I'm gonna bring it back. So we've just dropped 3%, but granted this is hot here, like that would have warmed up cooked some toast there. So now we're gonna run the kettle and see how much watts that sort of draws. Now this is a fairly big kettle as well. So we'll see how we go. So I'm gonna turn that on. So I've just turned that on, 2074 watt, and it's tripped. You can hear that. So as we expected, it's tripped it because that's way over the limit. So this is quite a big kettle, as you may be able to see there. It'd be over 2 litres. So if you had a kettle in the litre range, you might be able to actually run that. And I know you can get camping kettles that actually draw a bit less. But remember, this is like worst case scenario. Like this is a lot of power you're trying to draw here. So as we have pretty much discovered just now, is that it didn't like that. So now what we're gonna do is go back to this little vent back here. I'm gonna open it up and I'm gonna hit the AC overload protector. And now, if I turn this back on, there you go, back to normal. So pretty easy to reset it. And now we can go again, obviously, not with that kettle, but we can turn this toaster back on and it will be fine. Gotta walk in the new machine here, take off this little, oh yeah. Okay, so now I really want to see if it can charge my phone super fast charging. So what we're gonna do is gonna turn off the inverter because we don't need that anymore. And we're gonna just see if it turns on and charges it as it is. Because sometimes they're on as it is. But if it doesn't turn on, what we're gonna do is hit this button here, which turns on the DC output, which is all of these, and could also potentially be this top section here, which is how most of them would work. And there we go, it's working. So that's charging now, and it's fast wireless charging, which is good. So that's awesome. So it's actually quick charging and it's not slow charging. So my phone's at 50%, and I reckon it will take about 1:15 hours. So that is really cool. And I can also obviously try this other charge on the other side, and boom, works straight away. Yep, 1:15 hours to charge from 50%. So that's pretty cool, that's pretty fast. And you can see there we're drawing about 4 watts output, so nearly almost nothing, which is pretty cool. Okay, you can see I've just turned Bluetooth on, and there's the device there in the ALLPOWERS app. So I just click on that and it's now trying to connect. And there you go, how sick's that? So it does have Bluetooth app, and it's on Google Play or App Store. As you can see here, I've got 96% remaining. It's got the hours there, 323, and it's got the days, and it's got the input and output currently using, which is nothing. And I can remotely turn this on or off. So I can go back here, turn that on, and that's turn that on, which is pretty cool. So if you're not near the system, you can just control it by your phone. And yeah, just a few little things you can do on that app. Mostly the fact that you can turn everything on and off individually is pretty cool. And this is connected via Bluetooth, so there's also Wi-Fi, and there's different modes on here and everything, but that is a pretty cool system. And if you have multiple systems, they'll actually sort of stack up here, so you can actually have this show like another device that you have on there. So that is another nifty hack if you want to connect your Bluetooth to the system. Okay guys, so that's most of the system pretty much run through, and I'm very excited because this I haven't had before, ever, essentially. And you've seen this big box behind me. This is a solar blanket, essentially, or a folding out solar panel, whatever you want to call it. So this is the ALLPOWERS one. Now, this is the 200 watt, and as you can see, it's an absolute beast. So pretty exciting because now you can essentially plug this in your system at camp and it's just going to charge it non-stop. So as you can see here, nice little green bit of material there that just looks trendy, I guess. And then this, essentially, if you don't know what this is actually one of the legs. So that just does that, and when you fold it down it will stand up. So I'll show you that later. But on the back here, got another little leg here, and you'll see this big panel here. So in here is essentially what we need to plug it up to any system. It doesn't have to be this system, it could be something else. But in here's all your cables, which is really cool. So in here, we've got a little solar adapter that goes to positive and negative on jumper cables. In here, we've got a little user manual. We've got 5 different adapters for charging, which is really cool. We've then got a solar plug here, which then goes to I forgot what this sort of plug's called, but it's just like a little circle pin plug. And I think that will be interchangeable. And then this is the one we're going to be using. This is the important one. This is your solar connector straight to the yellow tip, which is what we showed you on the system before. And this is going to be the main way to charge it and the fastest way to charge it for us as well. And then here, we just simply have the solar cables here that go into the panel itself, which is all hidden behind here. So it's quite as simple as unbox this, connect that to that, and connect this to the system. So all your cabling you're going to need is inside this big pouch, which is really nice. And on the back here, it just says, put it in direct sunlight, obviously, don't face it away from the sun. And when, try and not get it completely directional with rain. So obviously if it's absolutely hammering, I wouldn't have this out. But if it's just a light sprinkle, it'd probably be all right. But obviously, you've got this out in the sun anyways, so you want to get the sun, not the, you're trying to charge it, you're not going to put it out in the rain anyways. So obviously you can put these on your bonnet, but this one's quite big and the square itself's big. So these ones you're meant to more or less put them on the ground, or if you're really sneaky, you can actually throw them on top of your awnings, which I've seen lots of people do. Okay, so this is the 200 watt solar panel here. Now, they actually have quite a few sizes on the website. They have 100, 200, 400, and 600. Now, obviously, this is already quite big at 200. So 600, you'd imagine, is quite massive. And I feel like 200 is a good compromise. It's not too big, but it's still going to get the job done, sort of thing. And the model of this is the SP033. So, and the numbers have just got up from there. But pretty much, it's going to be very good because it's going to give us free power when we're charging. And essentially, this will just open up like so. So I reckon we get this on the grass and see what it looks like. Gee, it's quite a big panel, isn't it? So essentially set that up like that at camp and fold out the legs. Now what's really cool about this, the legs do have a bit of adjustment, so you can actually, I can set this up a bit steep if I want, but right now that's on its sort of most back incline. And obviously if the sun's above you, you can just put it flat. So, it's a bit flexible, it's good material, and it's actually got a little cord just here and over here and on here. So you could actually run a string through it or hang it on your awning or something. Okay, so essentially what I'm gonna do here is get the solar cable input here and just plug it into the side of the system like so. And then we're gonna run our solar cables, just as an example. There we go, so that is now connected. Now, I'm not sure you can tell on camera, but it is quite dark now. There's not actually that much light, but we'll see if that gets a reading for charging. Oh, there you go. Not sure you guys can see that, but that has got a 4 watt input, and you can see the little circles spinning there. It is definitely charging. Granted, it's like 6 and it's pretty much dark, but as you can see here, with the panels not even facing at the sun, I'm just getting 3 to 4 watts of input. So obviously in a sunny day, that's absolutely going to be cooking it way more than that. But it is a good sign that even just with the 200 watt here in the shade, it's actually getting a reading. Now, some other little fun facts while we've got it charging here at 3 watts. The system itself, if you charge off mains power, it will do 0 to 80% in 45 minutes, which is pretty impressive. So if you're charging that with 240 volt, it absolutely sends it. So about an hour, you're going to get your full battery charged, which is cool. so it can go pretty quick. And then yeah, the 1800 watt inverter peaks at 3000, but as we can see, that kettle killed it at about 2200 watts pretty quickly. Like we said before, 4 ways to charge this system, and one of them is right in front of you. It's the solar. You can also charge with 12 volt, 240 volt, so that's really handy. And yeah, the capacity of the unit is 1152 watts, which is the same as the Blue Eddies, okay? So I think that's more of a common size. They're all gonna be around that same mark if you're getting that sort of unit. Now, in terms of pricing for these systems, okay, so right now, you can get just that unit by itself for $999 on special, but it is only $1,600, so that is quite a big price drop there. But these, obviously, you know, it depends what sort of camping you're doing. If you're like me and you kind of want a second battery to potentially use every now and then camping away from the car, this is a great solution, because you can charge it at home and take it, or you can charge it like this at camp if you're going days on end. But if you just want it all in your car, no questions asked, then you might also be better off just getting a dual battery system in your car like I've got here. So it just depends up to the user. If you don't have a fancy full drive, but you still want power at camp, and you're taking like a van or something, you don't want to fit it out and commit to that van, this is a great option. All right guys, well that is the ALLPOWERS system run and done through. Let me know if you have any questions, I'll try and answer them. But yeah, basically I'll put their website in the description so you can have a look at them yourself. And yeah, they're on special now, so now is probably a good time to have a look if you are interested in that sort of thing. And yeah, I'd recommend personally getting one with some solar blankets so you can at least charge it you know, off grid, or if you don't have any power at camp, you can at least get some juice back into it. So yeah, pretty cool system. Highly recommend if you're desperate for power at camp and you don't want to do a massive battery system on your car. So really good stuff. Well, till next time guys, we'll see you guys on Built Cruisers.